Hey there, it's Nyosha from Navigation. Happy Friday. Happy Financial Freedom Friday. You know, I get asked the question often how I exited corporate America, what strategies I used, what mindset I was in, was I afraid? And the answer is yes to all of them, but I had a plan in place, and today I want to share with you the plan that you can use for your strategy. I'm not promoting that you leave corporate America, but I am promoting that you keep your dreams alive. You take that thing off of the shelf and you put it into action today, therefore creating your financial freedom. So let's talk about it. Head on over to YouTube/Team Navigation Gibson Speaks and get the talk. Get the talk that's going to change your mind, your money, and your home. YouTube, Gibson Speaks, Team Navigation. Go there now and let's keep your dreams alive. I'll see you all soon. Hey there, it's Nyosha from Navigation. How are you? Happy Friday. Happy Financial Freedom Friday. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to be here with you all today. Today is not only Financial Freedom Friday, it's the first day of November. It's the first day to our official countdown to the end of the year. This is true holiday season. This is true goal accomplishment. This is true trend setting for the year to come. So let's go ahead and let's talk about what your financial freedom looks like for you today. You know, I actually have some celebratory news, and it didn't dawn on me until I was sitting here with you all discussing. Yesterday marked my 1 year anniversary. My 1 year anniversary that I actually created my financial freedom. And I walked away from the corporate America realm. I was a vice president. I had a very well-paying 6-figure job, and I left that to create the lifestyle that I wanted, to have the freedom and flexibility that I desired. And I thought how appropriate it would be to discuss that very idea with you for financial freedom. Why? Because what do we crave? We crave financial freedom. We crave the opportunity to be in control. We crave the opportunity to be the best us without any limitations. So let's go ahead and let's talk about it right now. Financial freedom for most means multiple things, right? But it first starts with you creating a plan, with you changing your mindset that you are going to do something different, right? With you believing that you absolutely can, no matter the hurdles that stand in front of you. Financial freedom means that you thought it out, you have committed, that you have decided to change. And so if you are one of those individuals and you're thinking of creating financial freedom coming out of a corporate sense, then there are certain things that you need to do. And that is, you need to have a plan, you need to have a budget, and you need to be able to track, allocate, and then distribute as if you were still getting that corporate funding, that corporate paid job to your bank account every week or bi-weekly. The plan of action allows you to see. It allows you to plan ahead. It gives you foresight. It gives you the option to look at the risk involved and try to mitigate against those risks before they even begin to happen. Remember, we spoke about this. It goes back to the Financial Freedom Friday Challenge, in which you want to budget with a bang, right? So you have to look at what those expenses are that you are spending today with your corporate paying job. You have this nice cushion coming in every week. What are you using to pay your bills from that income? How much are you saving? Because if you don't have a savings plan in place now, well, you need to get on the financial freedom savings plan, but this is the time to act. This is the time to say, I need to get my act together and I need to start saving because I'm going to have my exit strategy. Right? So what you have to do is look at what you're spending today and at minimum, Give yourself anywhere from 6 to 9 months. I really want to venture to say a year that you can afford to pay your bills at the same amount of money. How are you going to do that? What are you going to do then to bring in money? You have to figure that part out. And a part of that is determining what your dreams and your goals are. So if it's that thing that you want to take off of the shelf that's been there forever, if it's your dream marketing job, if it's your dream speaking engagement, if it's your dream artistry or freelance work, whatever it is, let's first believe in ourselves that we have the power and the capability to do so. Let's second go ahead and create a plan. That plan is going to tell us what we need to yield every month to sustain the lifestyle that we're living right now. It's also going to tell us what we need to bring in and what we may need to cut back on, right? Because that is something that we have to deal with, and we have to deal with it very effectively. Listen, if you desire change, if you believe in change, if you want change, you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. That means cutting something out. That means Xing out something that you are spending every day, today, like lunch or breakfast, where you're purchasing these things every day. That means you now save. You pack your lunch. You go to the grocery store at the beginning of the week and you buy the items that you will need for the week. What does that allow you to do? It allows you to plan. It allows you to curtail your spending. It also allows you to look at how you're now spending and allocate your money differently. So the money that you actually are saving, in effect, by not going out and purchasing lunch and breakfast every day, now you can put that into your tomorrow plan, right? So you have your plan. You have your risks laid out. You've started to budget. What else do you need to look at? Another thing that you want to consider is, how are you going to afford your health care? That's a very important factor, and you want to make sure that you take that in consideration when you're looking at your monthly budget, because that's something that right now you're not paying for out of pocket, but you are. You're paying for it most likely out of your paycheck. Right? So you don't pay attention to it because that's not your bring or your take home money, right? That goes into the bucket. It comes out before you even get it. So I'm okay with it. But now that you'll be out on your own, you have to think about this. And so you need to look at insurance plans. You need to look at discount plans. You need to look at how much it's going to cost you in order to continue your coverage. Or alternatively, perhaps you can get on your spouse's coverage. This being November 1st, it's the perfect opportunity for open enrollment. Look at what it will cost to get on your partner or your spouse's insurance plan so that you can continue to have coverage should something happen. And checkups, listen, should something not happen, checkups are warranted. That's something that you should be doing anyway. It's a part of your health and your stability, right? So that when you have this wealth, you have your health too. Because as the alchemist says, what is wealth without health? All right. So now we got our plan. We set our budget. We're looking at our health care. What else are we going to do? Develop a schedule. And guess what? That goes back to the Financial Freedom Friday Challenge as well. Why? Because you have check-ins. You have routine check-ins in which you're going to say, I'm meeting my target. You're going to say, I'm exceeding my goal. You're going to say, I need to rev it up because I'm not meeting my targets. I'm not exceeding my goal. What do I need to do differently? Oh, you didn't save enough money for this plan? Let me stop and reevaluate. Time is money, and money equals time. Time that you want. Quality time. Quality time that you get to spend with your loved ones. Quality time that you can spend with your family and your friends. Quality time that you can spend with you. You can't put a price tag on that. You cannot put a price tag on being your own boss, doing what you want to do, how you want to do it, and when you want to do it. But you have to be smart about it. You have to be disciplined about it. You have to be creative You have to be committed to it, right? So, in creating your financial freedom, whatever that path is going to be, and believe me, there are multiple ways you can do this. You need to plan it all out. You need to create your budget. You need to then monetize your time, because time equals money and money equals what? Time. You got it. That's the name of the game. And then when we figure out what path that's going to be, if it's going to be investing and running your property management properties, right? You're going to look over the properties that you now invested in that's going to yield you income. If it's going after, again, your marketing dream job, your speaking engagements, opening up your nursery or daycare. Maybe you want to be a model. You know, maybe you just want to take time off and spend with your family and reevaluate it all. Whatever you want to do, the decision is yours to make. But let's be smart about it. Let's think about financially how we are going to get to our goals. Because that's what it's all about. That's what we're working to accomplish. The quality of life that you desire. I'll tell you, if you haven't joined the Financial Freedom Friday Challenge, this is the perfect opportunity to go back and reevaluate what you're spending today and how you can make a change in your budget. How you can make a change in your budget that will allow your dreams, your goals, your ambitions to come to fruition. I believe in you. Do you believe in you? That's Financial Freedom Friday, y'all. Thank you so much for joining. Nyosha again from Navigation. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share so that we can continue to deliver great content. Remember, as Gandhi says, be the change that you wish to see in the world. But I say, be the change that you wish to see in you. Keep your dreams alive. Keep aspiring. Keep creating your financial freedom. Have a great weekend, y'all.
Congratulations, you made it to the end. And so now you get that special prize. I have something very, very special for you. It's actually an outline of all of the things that we spoke about today so that you can take these very tangible action items and put them into practice. So let's get right into it. I told you all this was going to be exciting. So here we go. And boom. So hopefully you can see my screen. This is all about you keeping your dreams alive. It first starts with you asking, believing, and then receiving, right? Changing that mindset. And so on our discussion today, we spoke about these 5 critical items that you need to do. And that first step is changing your mind. Changing your mind to say, I want something different, I want something more. And when you've made in your mind that you want something different, you want something more, the next step is to create your plan. You're going to outline that plan of action that outlines step 1, step 2, step 3, the whole shebang. Everything that you need to think about, the risk associated with it, who you need to bring along, who you need to inform, how often you need to check in. And then you're going to also, aside from that, you're going to create a budget, because the budget is what's going to sustain you, right? So you have this plan, you have your risk identified, but now you're going to create that budget. But when you're doing all of these things, more importantly, you have to believe. You have to continue to believe in you, because there will be times when you get down and out, when you say, why am I doing this? And you want to believe in you. And the final thing that you're going to do is execution. And so when you execute, that's you taking these steps to make sure that everything that you want to come to fruition is happening. You're checking in, you're making sure that if anything needs to be revisited, that you're doing that as well. And so what does this look like in terms of actionable steps? things that are tangible, it's right here. I outlined everything for you. The first thing that you're going to do, guys, is you're going to get your target dates in place. Today, starting from today, we have 61 days until the start of the new year. 61 short days for you to implement that plan of action. Now, that may be a very short amount of time, but we want to set this to a realistic date that your target goal can come to fruition. So that's step number one. Step number two is you're going to write out your full goal description. If you could do anything today because you did not have a limitation, what would that be? And I want you to detail it out here. So I've gone ahead and given you an example. And so this is my end of year goal, and that have 61 days until the beginning of the new year, in which I want to help 5 additional families create wealth by buying, selling, or investing in real estate. And similarly, I want to help 10 additional clients see substantial increases in their credit scores, thus allowing them the opportunity to invest in real estate, their families, and most importantly, themselves. And so for you, for any of us to make these goals come into fruition, the very next thing that we need to do is outline the steps on how we can reach this goal. We spoke about changing your mind. Today, you're going to decide to put the negative voice aside, which has been telling you you cannot accomplish this, because yes, you can do it. We're going to create that plan. And in the plan, we're going to detail the following. The first and most important thing is to identify the risks associated with your plan. You need to think of your knowns. You need to think of your known unknowns, because if something goes wrong, you need to have a plan in place to counteract that. And that's your mitigation plan. So the next thing is, how will you mitigate, avoid, exploit? And I do mean exploit, because if positive and when positive things will happen, you want to ensure it happens again. You want that to continue to occur. Or maybe you just transfer that risk, transfer it out to someone else, hire a third party, get someone to come in and do something that you're not necessarily good at, so that you can focus on the things that you are great at. And the final thing that you could do in risk tolerance or acceptance for your mitigation is to accept. You flat out accept that this is a risk that could potentially end it all. This is a risk that if I don't take action today, it may never come to fruition, right? This is a risk that if I invest in this, I stand to lose X amount of dollars. And so how do you counter against those things from happening? First, you accept it, right, as one of the mitigation tasks, but then you come up with a plan B, right? And figuring out how much money you're going to need to ensure this happens is part of you mitigating against this risk, because you need to look at how you can afford it. Maybe that's a part-time job. Maybe it's savings that you have. Maybe it's taking out a home equity line of credit. But when you do this and you don't meet your target, now you need to identify what happens if you don't meet it. What's that backup plan? And that's the contingency plan I was talking about. The third step is you're going to create your budget. This is the budget that will support your goals. So again, what savings can you put aside today that will allow you to get to your tomorrows? What items can you then cut back on so that you can put those savings aside? And then how long, realistically, how long is it going to take you to get there? Can you only afford to save $50 a week or $50 a month, and you know that you need at least $2,500 a month to sustain you? Well, then we have to do the math to figure out how long realistically it's going to take you to do that, and what things you can do in between to supplement the difference. And the last thing I need you all to do is believe. You are the determiner of your success, and that means that you have to believe in you. Imagine what your life would be like if these things were to happen today, right? You have such a unique trait. to offer the world. And you should write that down so that you can visually see it. And you should also write down and imagine how your life would change if this were to come to fruition today. How your family's life will change if this were to come to fruition today. Does that mean spending more quality time with your family? Does that mean getting to do the things that you were not afforded to do because of vacation restrictions? Figure that out. Give yourself a reason. Give yourself a goal, a vision that you can attach yourself to. And then without any further delay, let's make it happen today. You've identified these things, so there is no excuse. There's no reason for you not to move forward with this right now. Listen, I hope you all enjoyed. I'm more than happy to share any of the templates if you'd like to get started. But keeping your dreams alive, that is the target for you today, and you can do it. I believe in you. So let's go, navigators. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend. And remember to ask, believe, and receive. Have a great one.